We'll talk about that.
It's quite poor.
You may hurt me and treat me bad, but you can't stop me loving you.
Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Ian, and this is a series of videos about how to digitize a vinyl record, and in fact it's this vinyl record. Now this is part 4. Having said that though, slight apology. I started this process a year ago and other things got in the way. Anyway, I'm now back to it and we're going to get it finished. So I've linked all of the other videos down below. We've digitized the record, we've speed checked it. The plan is to put this out as a proper release. It's recorded in 1970. Sure, actually, let's have a look. What was it recorded? I don't know, 1981? Yeah, so it's recorded in 1981. Masters have long gone. So this is a good copy, but not a perfect copy. Hasn't been played very much. And what I noticed when digitising it was that we have got some surface noise to deal with. We've also got some turntable rumble. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the computer and we're going to go through the process of cleaning up the record, and then in another video we will do a final master before release. So let's have a look at it now. So I'll play you a little bit of the track so you can hear. I mean, I've gone through 2 or 3 tracks already, and it's very much been a work in progress, and some things worked, some other things didn't. So what we're going to use, what I've settled on is I've settled on Ozone RX. Now I've got RX7, which is quite old now, but RX7 D-Click, RX7 voice denoiser. I did try RX7 de-hum at first, but that didn't really work. And then I'm using Ozone 9 to sort of give it a final polish, really, before we get around to a proper finished master of the whole album. And I'm doing this on a track by track basis. So let's just play a little bit so that you can hear what the problems are. The problems tend to be mainly at the beginning and end of the track, because that's obviously when the needle goes the quiet bits, and certainly at the end of the track as the track fades down. So anyway, here we go.
But everywhere I looked, I could still see your smile.
something to notice at the beginning of the track there, because what I've done is I've pulled the quietness of the WAV file right to the beginning of the actual track where the drum roll starts. The problems for this particular track are at the end. Now you can certainly hear the sort of slight crackle on the vinyl of the record. That needs to go. There was a bigger click at the end which I've been able to pull back. So let's get on and do this to this track, and then I'll play the finished version. So here's the first module that we're going to use, and the way that I set the RXD click, when you open RXD click, it's set to a single band. I've gone through all of the options for the algorithm, and the one that I've settled on is the multi-band random clicks, so that if we do get an odd click, a pop that I haven't noticed throughout the track, what I found is it will actually remove that. I've also increased the sensitivity. It's normally set to around about 3 to 5.2. And I've widened the click to 0.9. Next up, we have voice denoise. Now, for some reason, like I said, dehum didn't really work very well, but this works really, really well. And in the past, I have tried the learn mode, but I've now set it to the adaptive mode, and threshold set at 3.3, reduction at 13.3. And everything else at -20. And then lastly, what I tend to do is bring in Ozone 9, and I let the mastering assistant analyze the track. I then what usually happens is I will probably end up taking some of these modules out, but I'll do that by trial and error and listen. And also, because I've saved the previous track settings for Ozone 9, I will compare those options to see what they're like. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll bring you back and you can hear the final track. So back in a minute.
Told her how much I miss her.
So I've let the Master Assistant do its thing, and it's come up with a series of modules. We've got an equalizer, we've got a vintage EQ, it's taken out the compression, although it's there, a vintage limiter and a maximizer. And the first thing I want to do is I'm going to save that as a preset. Let's just bring the preset manager up. So here's a preset manager, new, and we're going to give it the title. So the title is Letter to Jodie. We'll say 1. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to compare it to some of the others. I've used Analog Dreams twice, and I've used one or two of these other presets here. If I look at one of the nerve center presets, see that particular track we've got quite a bit more going on, and that one's got less, so we've got an equalizer. We're all on that. We've got equalizer, dynamics and a maximizer. Maximizer is the loudest. I always work to -14 LUFS, so I will adjust the volume of the track until we get that right. So I'm going to do that now, and then I'll let you hear the finished version. So I've settled on, I've completely dismissed what the Mastering Assistant came up with, and I've settled on a vintage EQ, a vintage compression and a vintage limiter, and that's it. I've also dropped the overall volume down so it matches the -14 LUFS, and having compared it to all of the other presets and I've tweaked to this one. I'm happy with that for the time being. So what I'm going to do is run that off, and then I'll let you hear the final version. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you found that useful. In the next video I will be finishing off this, but I'm going to go through the rest of the tracks, do exactly the same process that I've done here, and then we'll get on to doing a final mastered version before it gets ready for release. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers now, bye bye.